The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host and guests and are not necessarily those of WPSL. WPSL does not endorse products that may be mentioned. Any reproduction or retransmission of this broadcast is strictly prohibited without written consent of WPSL. It's time now to check your indoor air quality as WPSL presents Speedy on Call with Speedy Air Conditioning Service. Call in now with your HVAC questions at 340-1590. Now, here's your host.
Good morning. This is Jeff and Sharon, and welcome to Speedy on Call. We are a Speedy AC service. We're a full-service AC company serving the Treasure Coast from Vero Beach to Hope Sound. We have several money-saving options available on new installs right now. They have 0% financing for qualified buyers. We're also giving away fresh air, UV light to one lucky customer who has an install during the months of March and April. Give us a call at 772-871-1560 for all your air conditioning needs. Well, good morning, Sharon.
Good morning.
So how are we doing? Good morning.
Good morning. Good to see you.
Mm-hmm.
Glad you're back.
Oh, yes, I'm thrilled.
It's been a very busy week for us. The heat has pumped up and
Oh,
the calls are coming in.
Did we just get a touch of summer?
We did.
Just a little tad.
And I noticed the water in my pool's a little bit warmer. I almost said we can swim.
Yeah.
And
Let's go.
But we are set for a storm, I guess. Today's
Yes.
pushing in some cold weather, so we better enjoy that because it'll probably be the last.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you're correct on that. You know, once again, we like to talk about maintenance, and I would say at least 75% of our service calls were clogged drains.
Yes.
Oh, my drain's clogged. Well, you just put it in 6 weeks. Well, your drain's clogged. Your air conditioner didn't run, so the water dried up because the slime, the algae.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah.
you didn't know right away
All of a sudden, you start
because it was
running
dried.
it.
Okay.
Humidity got up there, heat got up there.
Oh, yes, it did.
They like to make the water.
Yeah.
So when you do, so how did yours work out?
Mine worked out pretty good. I learned to keep that drain clean once a month, putting a little bit of bleach in there. Keep my air, my filter clean, check it every time, and just do my part as a homeowner.
Do your part.
ACs are expensive.
Yeah,
And,
I think that's probably the best thing. Do be proactive. It is your
Yeah.
air conditioner, it's your home. You know, it's a big chunk of change if you need to change inside and out. Now, usually if you get a new air conditioner, it is both inside and out.
Yes, as of January 2013, we
Okay.
were required to change both inside and outside units.
Okay, so that's you said you're required. So that's
Yes, by the Florida Energy Codes.
okay.
There is an exception to that if you have a newer air handler, and it can be matched up
Okay.
with a condenser out there. We can change out just one piece.
Okay.
But that's few and far between
Sure.
to find the ARI guide for compatibility.
Okay.
It's not
Okay,
like
and that's another thing too. You don't they need to be compatible.
They need to work
It's just
together.
not one unit outside that works with any unit inside then.
That is true. That is true. Just to get your energy savings.
Sure, and I think that probably technology, if it's 10 years old, technology has changed.
That's like putting a new transmission in a 10-year-old car.
Okay, unless it's a what do they call it?
Classic.
Resto mod.
Yeah.
You don't do resto mod air conditioners, huh?
No.
Oh, darn.
No. They get to go to the scrap heaps.
Yeah, and they get a lot of abuse.
Yeah.
Especially if people don't take care of them and maintain them and get that maintenance done. They'll go fast. They'll go really fast with the climate down
They
here.
say the average is 10 to 12 years. 10 to
Okay.
12 years. And that's if it's maintained properly.
Right. If
You
you're
know,
lucky.
Now, is it the outside that goes or the inside that goes, or it's just depends?
It's a combination, but for the majority of the time, it is the outside.
Okay.
It's the
And
one
it's
out there working the
Because
hardest.
it's in the elements.
That is true.
Okay.
Those
That is
coils have
true.
to stay clean.
Good point. You mentioned that storm. We saw the radar coming in, and it's really getting hammered in Vero Beach right now. If we
Yeah.
do get a lot of lightning or anything like that, that's a good time. If your air does go out, make sure your breakers haven't tripped. Make sure, when we get those little flash power outages, that, you make sure your system's not running backwards, especially with the newer systems.
Okay.
If it is, just reset your breakers and everything should go back to normal. Now, the other thing is humidity is going to be 100%.
Sure.
We're back on the drains again.
Right.
It's going to be my favorite thing, drains.
Drains.
But that's an easy thing, though. It's kind
very
of
easy.
It's like, we call the service guy out for something little.
And then they get upset because they have to pay for that service call when all they had to do was XYZ and
Right.
Yep, shop vac and some bleach.
I mean, yeah, bleach.
Mm.
Just get it taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It also is a good time to check your batteries in your thermostat.
Okay.
This is that time.
I mean, a lot of
again.
people don't even know there's batteries in
Right,
there.
they don't.
thermostat,
I had somebody say that the other day. Those have batteries. I
Batteries.
said, yes,
Yeah.
ma'am, they do.
And also remember, we do offer 10-year labor warranty
Right.
on, all new installs.
Right.
So, I mean, that's for a big investment. It'd be nice 2 years down the road being a mechanical machine if it does fail, knowing that the part and the labor are free.
Right.
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 Just give us a call, and we come out and take care of it. And
Well.
you've already paid for it up front, and it's a peace of mind, and it gets taken care of. And don't you get priority service if you have that labor warranty
Yes,
as well?
you do. Yes, you do.
So you get to the top of the list.
Now, if I have you out to give me an estimate, are you going to tell me about all these options, like the
Most
warranty
definitely.
on labor?
Yes.
Okay.
Most definitely.
Okay.
Most definitely. And also, any maintenance customer is 20% off any repair if they do require one
Okay.
Right.
without a labor warranty.
Right. Yeah. So you'll save both ways.
Now, I know that a lot of the snowbirds are packing up. They're going home. It's that time of year for them to leave. Do they get their air conditioners checked before they go?
They
Is
should.
it
Okay.
They should.
They should. And also, remember we touched briefly on humidistats, on how to set the humidistat. My preference is 72 and on the thermostat and 65 on the humidistat. But they should be trying that before they leave to see if that's a good setting for them.
Okay. And this is good. This is beneficial for someone who's not going to be there.
It's going to be gone for over a month.
Okay.
That way you're not running the air conditioner as much. You're running it off moisture in the house, humidity, instead of the sensible temperature.
So even if you take like a little vacation to go visit the kids up north, and you really are a year-round resident, but you're going to be gone for at least a month, you should look into that as well.
Yeah, it would be beneficial. I mean, even if you're gone for 2 weeks, why cool a house if nobody's in there, if you can so the humidity's low?
Okay.
You
Now,
know,
why would we worry about humidity?
it can grow some ugly, nasty stuff in your house.
Okay.
Yes.
Especially up north. People that, well, go ahead. I keep cutting you off.
No, I just went yuck. Stuff that's growing because of the humidity. Yuck. Stuff you don't see.
Oh, yes.
So yeah, it's like. Ugh.
Well, I mean, I'm a native Floridian, so
Okay.
but my parents were from up north. And you ever walk down in the basement?
Yeah.
And you get that nice, damp, musty smell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's
In the summer, the floor feels wet.
Yes.
oh, that's
Ugh.
humidity.
Yeah.
That's carpet.
Okay.
Get
That's
rid
why
of
they
the
had
carpet.
Yeah.
They had the
Well, we had
dehumidification.
our basement had concrete floor, and we had the
Yes.
kind of basement that was sort of half underground, and it had the windows where you could see across the yard.
Right.
But in the summer, the concrete was painted, so it was nice and clean, but it was
Sticky, tacky.
it was
You
wet.
Feel it.
It was
Yes.
dampish.
Dampish.
So the dehumidifier, is it beneficial here, or is there some type of dehumidifier you can use with an air conditioner?
Not really. Your air conditioning itself is a dehumidifier. So if it's running properly, it'll remove the required moisture for your comfort levels and also to prevent any kind of growth.
Okay. Well, I guess that's where all that water comes from that clogs the drain.
This is true.
So we have a phone call. We have Elizabeth on the line. Elizabeth, what's your question?
Yeah, hi. I was hearing you all, and I may have just missed someone else asking that question, or you talking about it specifically, but I was hearing you talk about using bleach. I had been adding vinegar for a long time, someone told me at one point, and wondered if what the difference is in using one over the other.
Okay, we're getting a little bit of breakup from your cell phone. What I understand the question is vinegar versus bleach or
Bleach.
what? Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
that's right.
Elizabeth, I prefer bleach because it does vinegar is good for cleaning the surfaces. I use vinegar and baking soda in my drains to freshen them in my kitchen sink. But bleach will eat algae. Vinegar does not eat algae. They don't. Just think about a pool. They don't put vinegar in a pool to keep it blue. They use chlorine, and bleach is chlorine, and that's why we recommend using the bleach, because it'll sit in there and it'll constantly eat anything that grows in that drain pipe.
Right. Okay. I'll switch to bleach.
There you go, and don't forget to chase it with a little hot water.
Oh, okay.
It just helps loosen the stuff that grows on the sides of that PVC pipe.
So I'm just pouring it in that little overflow thing, right?
Yes, ma'am.
About a quarter of a cup.
So it's about a quarter of a cup. About how often?
But
Once a month?
Once a month for the
Okay.
first, 4 months, and then you can go to every other month, and then eventually you can get it down to every 3 months, so 4 times a year. But you
Okay.
got to get it prepped up first.
Okay, you make sure it's clean.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Well, thank you for your call,
thanks for
Elizabeth.
calling,
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you all.
All right, bye.
And then 340-1590. Anyone else with a question, give us a call right here. You're listening to Speedy on Call with Speedy Air Conditioning Service here at WPSL. Again, phone lines 340-1590. Any questions, give us a call.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, that was a good one.
That was a good one. It was a very good one. Somebody
vinegar
that
and bleach
is,
again.
Well, vinegar, I guess, is keeping it kind of clean and fresh, but not really killing
Not eating
that.
anything.
Okay.
you want it
That's why they say, a plumber told me that, when you get that odor that comes up,
Go ahead.
that gives you that, you get a little smell that comes out of your sink, you get food particles and that. Vinegar, it's great. But if you add a little baking soda to that sink, it fizzes and it'll actually wash the
Okay.
pipe out.
Oh.
Don't do it in the air conditioning drain. I tried it. It's messy.
That's messy.
It's
we're,
messy.
We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Speedy on Call here on WPSL. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
You're listening to Speedy on Call with the experts of Speedy Air Conditioning Service here on WPSL. Call in with your questions, 340-1590. Now, back to your host.
Hi, everybody. This is Sharon, and I'm here with Jeff. We're here with Speedy on Call, and we are Speedy Air Conditioning Services. We are servicing the Treasure Coast from Vero Beach to Hobe Sound. And right now we have some money-saving rebates with some new installs, as well as 0% financing for any qualified buyer. We're also giving away a fresh air UV light to one lucky customer who has an install in the month of March and April. So give our office a call at 772-871-1560. We can get you set up for an estimate. And we've been discussing maintenance and drains, and we also have a tornado warning, so everybody be safe out there, please. I'm a little concerned here.
Southern Indian River County in east central Florida, according to, of course, the Weather Service, until 10:45 this morning. So about 20 more minutes. It's probably moving through pretty quick.
Is that a train I hear is coming?
No. We don't want to hear a train.
Well, we've been telling them about the drain and everything
Right.
like that, and you keep mentioning filters. What type of filter do you use?
I use I really don't know what kind it is. I know it has layers. It's a really nice filter. I don't know what the rating is. I buy good quality. I don't buy the top, but I don't buy the cheap, because I want to make sure it's capturing what it needs to capture and doing what it needs to do.
Well, why I ask that is each filter comes with something that's called a MERV rating, MERV, MERV rating. And that stands for Minimum Efficiency Reporting Value, or in English, how effective is your air filter? MERV ratings range from 1 to 16, 1 being paper thin and 16 being almost impenetrable.
Mine's not paper thin. That much I know.
Well, anyway, getting back to the MERV rating, they say the recommended MERV setting for a filter should be 8. Myself, I use 6 at my house.
And I'm thinking, why aren't they all 8 then?
cost. People don't. People,
Okay.
they're trying
You
to.
know, if that's the best way to go, then
Trying to hit everybody's
Okay.
pocketbook that
Okay.
they can afford.
that's
Well,
almost
my
like
guess.
a pay me now or pay me later kind of thing, though,
Correct.
don't you think?
I don't. I disagree with that. I look through the stores, and I've been in Home Depot, and I'm
Okay.
looking at all the filters, and I go to pick up my filters there, and I'll see someone going this and that, and they're picking up a $30 filter. And what's running through my mind is, wow, that's a dirty house. If you need something that
Yeah, well, maybe.
thick.
What if you have people with allergies? Is it beneficial then to maybe get a little higher MERV?
I would say yes to a degree, but you remember every time you open that door, and in Florida, we got 4 blooming seasons throughout the
What?
year. Oh yeah.
I thought we were just one season hot.
No.
Yeah, how long have you been here?
Only since December.
Okay, so if once you're here long enough, then you'll know you'll feel the
it.
seasons.
Feel
yeah.
the difference.
Yes.
Yeah, hot,
It's-
hotter.
Yeah.
It's-
I don't want the hottest.
But no, theoretically, I mean, we grow oranges here. And we have a great produce, sugar, all that. Why? Because we have the temperatures to
Sure.
grow.
Yeah.
year
Everything
round.
everything grows in
Yeah.
Florida, even cruddy stuff.
Yes.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
yes. And when it grows, we all know how trees and vegetables that reproduce.
Yeah.
It's a simple fact. It's pollination.
Right.
Your garden outside or your plants or all of them, they pollinate. That's where you're getting your pollen factor.
Okay.
So if you start seeing the yellow stuff on your car and all that,
It's pine
blooming.
trees.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the pine. We get that a lot in Colorado. I'm like,
Yeah.
what is that? And I go,
Yeah.
oh, it's
Yeah.
pollen time. Close
So
the
you
windows.
picked out your filter kind of middle of the road.
Right. Because I want my air conditioner not to get dirty, but also to be able to breathe.
Okay.
The more air it takes in, we've talked about that earlier, the more air it can take in, the better it can condition it.
What
and
are
go.
some of the signs that we have the wrong filter?
Noise.
Okay.
All of a sudden, it sounds like it's laboring. And
Okay.
I think about it like this. Put a bag on top of your head and run around the block. Take the bag off and try to run around a block.
Okay.
A little easier without the bag.
Sure.
So the higher that MERV rating, the more stifling or the more restrictive you are on that air.
Okay.
So we started with the clean one that's restrictive, and then we add more pollen and more whatever dog hair, children's falling through it and all
Yeah.
Dead
that.
skin.
Dust and
Yes.
dander.
Dander.
It's going to clog it up. The unit's going to run harder. It's not going to cool as well.
Okay.
Chance to freeze the coil up.
Yep.
So if you find that middle of the road where it keeps it clean and so on and so forth, stick with that. The lesser is better, in my opinion. That's just my opinion.
Okay. Now I have to look at my filter and see what rating it is.
I'm going to
MERV
look at
rating.
mine too.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know.
I have no idea.
And the other thing is good, if you're worried about allergies, they have the products, the UV fresh air, whole house system.
Okay.
Of which we're giving away.
Can
Yes.
you add that to a current system?
Oh,
So it's-
most definitely.
Okay.
Most definitely. You can put them on the bottom, the top, pretty much
And
anywhere we got room.
Since you're giving one away, tell us a little bit more about it.
Well, what it is, the whole home system, it does help with the pollen, the allergies. It basically is a UV, it's like natural sunlight that shines on your coil, and it prevents microbiological growth.
Okay. So is it also protecting the coil?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
The coil, the inside of the cabinet. I don't know if anybody's ever looked inside an older air conditioner. They can look a little,
Gnarly.
yes, all pretty on the outside, but little.
You mean that empty space underneath?
No, I'm talking about inside. If you pull the service door off and
Okay.
look in there, where you would see
Where
where
you
they
put
have
your
paper,
filter.
Okay.
you can see a little bit of black mildew that will grow in there on the paper. It's feeding off that. So yes,
So that
does-
UV light would inhibit that
yes,
mildew
it inhibits
growth.
the growth.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the
So
same
it's
with your,
it's damp in there and it's dark. So those are the
Exactly.
two things that you need to
Right.
grow stuff.
Yeah.
right. And the only thing, it just doesn't have a food source except for some of the little paper.
Okay. So if you have drywall around the bottom,
If it
platform.
gets wet, that's food.
okay.
That's food. The second thing the UV does, it also helps with the odors. just homeowners, cooking odors. If you have a numerous
Pets again?
Yes, numerous critters. Cats seem
We
to be
love
the
our
biggest,
pets.
the biggest offenders because they have the litter box.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, then
And
you've got it's like double trouble because you have odors and you have dust.
And their dandruff and so
Okay.
on and so forth. So that goes through these, starts at the filter. That pulls out the larger particles. Now you got the microscopic particles, the UV light kills,
Okay.
and they also have on the home house system, it's a charcoal activated that takes the odors and turns it into water molecules.
And
that's
then
a
does
little
that go out the drain?
No.
No.
It's a fine mist water vapor that's just released with that
Okay.
pleasant smell to it.
Okay.
And that's about
Yeah, and that's a $695 value. That's the unit and installation that we're giving away.
Okay.
So, and
Yeah,
I've
that's-
noticed. I have a question because
no.
I've noticed at my house, I have a small place, and I do have like an air purifier not attached to the AC, but it's sitting off to the side, and my house will smell good, really good, and then all of a sudden I'm getting that musty, icky smell. And it's like, I don't know if my air conditioner's not doing what it's supposed to do or what, but it changes. The smell within my home changes. So I don't know if it's the AC, if it's the filter, or what's causing that, but it's very annoying.
Mm-hmm.
well, you might be a prime candidate for one of those.
I might.
where it's operating 24/7 with your air conditioner. And
I mean, I
not
do
just
have a little
plugged into the wall.
dog, but, there's
Usually they don't smell musty though.
No, they don't smell musty, but I've noticed this week, and I don't know if it's because we've gotten hotter that it's causing that, but I keep an eye on my humidity within the home because I bought a little portable one. I set it right on top of my thermostat because even though I have a Wi-Fi thermostat, it doesn't tell me the humidity inside the house. So I bought a little cheap one so I can monitor that. And it's staying kind of level, but I don't understand why the smell keeps changing. I'm only one person and one little 16-pound dog.
Well, I mean, once again, when the humidity, you get more moisture. More moisture comes up there. It can
Stir it up.
stir it up. Another thing that I like to do, and this is just once again my personal tip on air conditioning, I like Lysol.
Yep. Well, Lysol's good.
When the air conditioning's running, and it helps freshen the ductwork itself. Lysol
good
kills
point.
99.9% of all
Can you spray it in that
right in the
compartment?
filter when
Right
it's
in-
running.
Okay.
While it's running.
Oh, very
Okay.
good idea.
And then it goes through all your ductwork and all the rooms of your house.
It doesn't hurt the coil.
No,
You
not
would
at all.
spray the filter
The filter while it's running.
while it's running.
All you have to do is spray it. It just gets sucked right in.
That's
so
it.
sucks through. Oh,
goes
that's
right
a
through
very
everything.
good point.
Yeah.
I like that.
And then you go across the house to the other end and you smell Lysol.
That's it. You
I have done this.
It works wonders for just eliminating anything that might be in the far crevices of the ductwork.
I'd rather
Okay.
do that than spray a room. I'd rather spray that
Well,
filter.
no, you are spraying the room.
I know, but
one central location.
one location, yes. Plus, it gets through the ducts. That's a great idea.
Right.
Great idea. I like
Yeah.
that. I'm gonna try
Well, I
that.
stopped doing that thinking I might be hurting the air conditioner. Okay.
I haven't hurt mine yet.
Okay.
So that's always the better. And like I said, if that's the case, maybe your MERV rating on there might be a little high. Maybe you're restricting your air.
Could be. I'll have to check what that rating is and fix that. Yeah.
They do give. I mean, you did bring me a beautiful MERV chart here. That
I did.
I wish I was younger. I could read it.
Yeah, that is it's small print.
But what they start out with is like, your MERV 6 is, where is it? Industrial workplace, disposable.
Mm-hmm.
It pulls out a lot of the main stuffs that you would have. I mean, dog hair is and cat hair is a big one where it'll mat on there.
Mm-hmm.
So, once again, restricting that air. Once it started to mat,
This I don't even want to see.
yeah, you can pull a whole, cat out of there.
Yeah.
And the
That's
other
not-
part of the MERV rating is that, like I said, the higher it's more restrictive, the lower you're not doing anything. You've got to find right in the middle of the road. Check it
So
once.
stuff's going right through. I mean,
Right.
if you, pretty much, I think if you can see through it, you might want to pick out a different one.
Yes.
What about these that you cut that to fit? Those are always so thin. Are they
Those are
Because
called.
some people have weird sizes. They're hard to find.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
yeah.
right. Well, there's places online. Gateway Filters will give you any custom size that you require. Uh, Grills here are kind of funny. You have what's called filter size and grill size. Grill size is a half-inch shorter than filter size.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, no, we used to have, what was it, 25 by 25 grill at our other house, and no one
had a 24 and a half by 24 and a half.
Right. You could only buy one filter, the one with the little metal on the front. That was the only filter that would fit. So we would be, from hardware store to hardware store looking for filters and we'd stock up because they were so hard to find.
Once you found it, yes, I understand.
Is there any benefit if you choose a washable filter versus just a regular paper filter that you change every month? And is there a benefit to that, or
Well, you
the
always have the
quality
right
is-
size.
Okay.
Well, yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
But quality-wise, is it going to provide the right kind of air quality, or get that stuff out like you would regular filter? Because I've seen some that are kind of super thin. Doesn't look like they're really going to work good compared to a paper one, which typically are what, a half inch or 3/4 of an inch thick or
And
something.
then they're pleated. They
Yeah.
have all
The
those
pleated one,
pleated.
the pleated one I find is the better of the filters, as long as the MERV rating is not astronomically high.
Okay, so goes back to that rating.
Now, everybody says, well, I have a electrostatic filter that I put in and I wash it and I rinse it out. Those are great. They're a good filter for the first 3 washes. So as you're washing this, all you're doing is sticking all that stuff in the middle of it.
Okay.
Eventually,
You're blocking it up.
exactly.
Okay.
The hog's hair filter, in a pinch, yes. It's not a bad one to have in your system. But don't wait for it to wash it 500 times and it's just a limp noodle, because
Okay.
it's going to end up into your coils and into your blowers.
Should you wash those with more than just water? Maybe with bleach and water combination, or just water?
The best way I found to wash both the electrostatic, they're in the metal frame with the little pad in there, or the hog's hair, is you put it in your dishwasher.
Ah,
Turn the heat setting off. Please turn the heat setting off.
it melt otherwise.
Yeah. And let it run through a cycle. And that seems to beat it up pretty good and get it out. But once it starts becoming flimsy,
Okay.
it's time to
Time
cut
for
a
a new
new
one.
piece. New piece.
So you could probably get 3 or 4 months out of
Right.
that, maybe. Okay.
And another good benefit, if you do have a place under your unit, some units come with a filter rack under it, but we're using a filter in the ceiling or on the wall there, you can put your regular MERV filter, say the 6 or 8, and then underneath the unit use one of those paper thin ones as a pre-filter. So you might catch
Okay.
all the, big stuff in that pre-filter and not restrict your air, and then catch the rest in your main filter.
Okay. So you're saying just that hole, that area, you would.
Yeah, if you have a place under your unit where you
Okay.
can slide a filter in, it's not a bad idea to have a pre-filter. It just helps out to catch.
More stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just
Especially
check it regularly.
I would think especially if you have animals.
Yes.
Right.
And
Because
small children. Remember, those are the 2 messiest things you'll ever have in your house. All right.
Good point. Yeah.
Well, I think we'll take a break.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you're listening to Speedy on Call here on WPSL, phone lines are open 340-1590. Give us a call with your questions. We'll be back in just a moment.
You're listening to Speedy on Call with the experts of Speedy Air Conditioning Service here on WPSL. Call in with your questions, 340-1590. Now, back to your host.
Well, welcome back. This is Jeff and Sharon.
Hello.
Hello again, Speedy on Call. For those of you who are just joining us, we are Speedy AC Service. We're serving the Treasure Coast from Vero Beach to Hope Sound. We're a full-service and licensed air conditioning company offering maintenance, repairs, and installs. We have several money-saving options available on new installs right now with 0% financing for qualified buyers. We also giving away a fresh air UV light to one lucky customer for any install in March and April. Be sure to check out our website at www.speedyacservice.com. and our Facebook page for additional information regarding your rebates, financing, and giveaways.
And sometimes there's money back from the power companies. Is that
Yes.
correct? Yeah.
Florida Power and Light, you get a rebate back from them.
Okay.
So save everywhere you can because other than buying a home and a car, ACs can be costly. Yeah.
And try to live without it.
Yeah, in
kinda
Florida,
hard.
you don't live without an air
It's
conditioner.
kinda hard,
You
yeah.
know, you wanna keep that maintained. You want to keep it serviced. You want to know how your air conditioner is working, not working. You want to be able to tell by a sound or something that something's not right. So just,
And then get someone out there.
and get someone out there, and we'd be happy to come out there and help you out.
Yeah. We all know the 5 Ps.
Okay.
Not going to say them, but we all know them. Proper prior planning prevents blank performance. So, you
Yeah.
know, be proactive, not reactive.
Yes.
So now we got the rain a falling.
Yes, we do. I hear it.
I hear Dorothy's coming maybe.
No, she's not. I
No,
told
she's
her to
not?
go
Okay.
away.
All right. Be a good time to talk about power outages.
Okay.
Upcoming hurricane season. June's right around the corner.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
It'll be here
man.
before you know it.
I
Yeah.
know.
It's fast approaching.
So, what would you do if, just say the power went out or your AC stopped working and comes back on?
I'd freak out. No, I would.
No, you'd call Speedy AC?
I would call Speedy AC. I would check my breakers. I would just check everything. And see if I could get everything back up running. But obviously, I would want to have personally a company, AC company that I could trust, that I could call, that knows my system and knows me. So I would want to have a relationship with that company and not just go with who's the cheapest at the time. You get what you pay for. So yeah, I would call my
That's a good
AC guy.
point.
I'd call my AC guy.
Our,
Jeff?
Yes.
Now you
Well-
mentioned breakers. Now you might think the breaker panel in your garage, but the unit has breakers.
Well, that's more of a service breaker.
Okay.
That's for me when I'm working on it, so I don't have to go to your
Okay.
panel. I can
Well,
just
I've
turn it
had
off
them
there.
go out and had to go to Home Depot holding the one, looking on the shelf for a new one.
I don't think you found one, did you?
I did.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
we were
my.
able to handle that ourselves, but it was only because we figured it out. That's the whole thing, is figuring it out.
Figure it out.
Right,
Yeah.
and that one necessarily doesn't trip. That's basically just an on and off switch.
Yeah, one of them went bad.
Yeah, one leg went bad.
Yeah, so no AC.
I know about one leg's going bad.
Oh my, it happens. You're getting there.
I'm getting there, yes.
So when a power outage, just make sure you take them, turn them off, turn them back on.
Like reset it?
Yep.
Okay.
Reset it. Let it start. Let your unit start up. And other times is we get these little funny power on and off real quick. If your unit's running at that time, when it does that and tries to come back on, there's a chance you could have it run backwards when that power's reapplied with the scroll compressors. What you'd like to do for that is to go to your breaker panel, turn it off, wait 5 minutes, turn it back on. Everything will reset internally, and you'll be back to cooling again.
Okay.
You'll hear an ungodly noise when it's running backwards.
Okay.
That
That
has
could
a
be
I
Scary.
didn't even know that could do that.
I didn't know it could do that either.
It can. It reverses polarity
Wow. Okay.
when it, flash on, flash off.
So in other words, you really wouldn't want to, let's say the air conditioning turns on and you go, wait a minute, I'm just too cold, and you flip it off right away. You really shouldn't do that.
You can flip it off, just don't flip it right back on.
Okay.
Give it a minute to those pressures to equalize.
Okay.
Because remember, the outside's running at a higher pressure than the inside. You don't want to spike or slug the compressor.
Okay.
You don't want the liquid to go back. You want only gas going back to it.
Okay. So it's not a good idea to just go pop it on and off.
No,
Okay.
that's never. We've all done that with the old mercury stats. The doo-doo, you hear doo-doo.
Uh-huh.
That's not a good thing to do.
Okay.
Not a good thing to do.
What about those batteries
Batteries and thermostats?
and thermostats?
Oh, please change them at least annually.
Just like you would your smoke detector or something like carbon monoxide detectors in your home.
And I'm just trying to give helpful tips so
Yeah.
you're not surprised when you do call with a problem and come out, oh, it's your batteries. I need,
A battery.
Yeah.
and then you want to buy a battery or
And
a
then you
service
wonder
call
why.
for a
Well,
battery.
you feel really stupid to call a serviceman out for a battery. I know I would.
And I think you just get more. You feel stupid. You get more upset that you're having to spend money for something that
You could have done
you
yourself.
could have taken care of yourself
Right.
if you'd
Right.
just be proactive and pay attention to, you got to live life, but you have a responsibility owning a home, owning a car, whatever. Just pay attention. Just
Most definitely. I mean,
Yeah.
that was some of my worst service calls. Ma'am, you need a battery. And you sit there and
they-
go, oh, man, why do I want to charge
Well,
you?
since you're out here, could you look at everything else?
Right. Well, that's,
Yeah.
it's fun. It's
So
fun.
you would turn that service call into a maintenance call. Would that be
Yes.
advisable for people who,
well, that's what
if that
we would-
happens?
we would suggest that you do, so it'd save you a little money, and then at least you feel like you're getting something
Right,
for your
right. Well, then, but
for
you're
your
getting
time.
you're getting a trained pair of eyes looking at your system to make sure that it's not going to be
Right.
more than just that battery.
right.
This is true.
That
This
is true.
good.
Yeah.
The other thing is about maintenance is there's internal parts that do wear out on air conditioners. You got run caps, start caps, contactors.
And they wear out quicker.
Are these things that can be changed? It's just something
yes,
that you okay.
They're designed by the manufacturer to wear out.
Okay.
Of course they are.
Well, it's
Imagine that.
mechanical. It's a machine. So
Right.
things
Just like your
Could go.
car.
Well, it's,
Yeah.
you have electromagnetic motor. It needs a little more boost than the 240, so the run capacitor, increases that voltage for it, so it can fire up and start.
headphones.
Yeah.
Let's remind the listeners they can call in with questions and comments 340-1590. And we have
Paul,
you're
how
on.
you doing, Paul?
Good
Paul-
morning.
Good morning.
Hey, question. I get central air, but I also have two small window units that I use occasionally when you don't need the big one. Every once in a while, when it's not cooling, it's not an on and off automatic. It's either cooling or it's not, but the fan still runs. But every once in a while, when it's not cooling, you get almost a urine smell
Ugh.
out of it. If you wanted to compare it to something, it smells just like, a cat litter box or something to that effect. What would
Do you
cause
have a cat?
that? I mean, nope.
No.
I got 3 little dogs. But they go outside.
Well, are you saying on your central air conditioning or your window units?
The window unit. And, they're kept clean. The filters are clean. They only have their little screen filter, so there's really not too much in there. Take them out, every a couple of weeks, clean them out. But every once in a while, when it's just cycling, it's not really on the cool cycle. It'll give you that funny smell.
Smells like an old Florida hotel. That's the smell that when you have the unit the hotels have. Those they're window units
Exactly.
basically.
And occasionally I get that on my car, which is weird because
I think it's just because the way the window units are, they're not really designed to drain. They throw that water back on the compressor to help cool it.
Cool it. Yeah. And there's
And-
times when I've actually poured a little in there to give it, it doesn't always stay full, that pan in the bottom, and it helps to cool it because you can hear it.
What I would,
spraying it up.
what I would surmise is what's happening is some of that water might be a little stagnant. That's a little sitting in there because it hasn't, especially when it's been a little cooler.
Yeah.
That it just might be a little smell of water splash that's stagnated, and you're just getting that initial smell. And then once it starts cooling, because when we cool things, they don't smell as bad as when things
Right.
are
You
warmer.
don't get it when it's on the cool cycle, but and to relate it to something, it smells just like cat urine or a litter box.
Or either that, you have a big tomcat that likes your air conditioner there.
No,
sit on the
can't get in.
outside.
It's screened.
Oh.
Yeah.
I know. I couldn't figure it out. I said, where would it come from? There's, even the little geckos, the little lizards, they wouldn't,
Well, if you were
They get in
listening
there.
earlier, I like Lysol. It
There you
works
go.
on window
Yeah.
units too. Right where the little
run
filter
it and
is.
spray it and
Yep.
let it suck it in.
There you go.
Yeah.
Freshen it up a little bit.
would you put
Okay.
bleach somewhere?
No. I
The
don't know.
other question, do they still offer that 10-year parts and labor?
How old is your system?
Oh, probably close to 8 now.
You're a little you're a little too late on that one.
No, I've got it on it, but I
Oh.
didn't know if they still offered it. I knock on wood. That was one of the best investments I made. I've used it 3 times so far, and it's paid for the AC itself 3 times.
Yeah, we do. We offer 10 years labor.
Okay,
On
not
all
parts,
new-
though.
Parts comes with the manufacturer.
Yeah,
that-
but that's what? On the condenser, on the compressor, basically?
No, that's on the new installs. It's 10-year parts on everything. If you lose
Oh,
a
it
screw,
is?
yes, you lose a screw. We give you a screw.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
and the
'Cause
10-year
this
labor.
one here at the time it was in a manner, but they didn't have that 10 years, so I ended up taking it because it wasn't the best unit, but it was what I could afford at the time. But I thank God it's paid for itself. 2 evaporator coils in the attic and 1 outside.
Ooh.
So
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
that
awesome.
it paid for itself definitely.
sure.
It's
That was
always
well worth it.
in today's world, warranties are always the better way to go with the price of everything anymore. Pay for it on the front end, and it's going to repay you eventually.
On the other end, yeah.
Yep.
And all you have to do is just pick up the phone call your AC guy, and go, hey, and they come out and take care of it, and you don't have to worry about anything.
Good to go.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, thank you. I'll try that. See if that may be clear. And it doesn't do it every time. It's just periodically.
Well, it could just be it's sitting a little bit longer and doing
yeah.
that. So give a little squirt there, and maybe I'll get rid of the other squirt you got.
Okay.
All right,
Thank
Paul.
you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Paul.
Yeah, a little can of Lysol might go a long way for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. 340-1590. Phone lines, of course, open here. Speedy on call with Speedy Air Conditioning Service on WPSL. Give us a call with your questions.
Well, you're worried about your little musty smell. Poor Paul there's got to deal with the kitty cat.
I know. I think I'll just take my little musty smell and
I
move
think
on.
It's probably that unit. It's probably
It's
It's
something.
stagnant water
because
something.
window units, to me, depending on how old they are, they always get like funky.
I like the old
Yeah.
Florida.
Old Florida Hotel.
Yeah, I'm
Yes,
going to the Keys in
exactly.
May, so yeah, I'll
Yeah,
know
I
that
always-
smell. With
I always
mine.
hated that. You turn that on and you go, oh, God, I need it. But, ooh, that smell.
Call me a little germophobic, but even when I do travel, I have a little can of Lysol because just for the simple fact.
Yeah.
The
I
old
don't have
Florida
Lysol,
Hotel.
but I have little wipes. I carry my little
No,
wipes.
spray some Lysol in the air conditioner. That's what you breathe in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. But I wipe down stuff. I never think about the air conditioner. But it's a good point.
That's wiping.
You can't travel with it fly with it unless it's a little 3-ounce. Well, you can't fly with aerosol. Never mind.
Well, like I said, I think we've covered drains this year. Paul was our best call with about how warranties work really well for you. And like I said, we do offer 10-year labor warranty on all new installations. And if your installation is under 2 years old, we can put you on a labor warranty plan.
Right. Yeah.
We hit the maintenance because everybody should flush their drain with what?
Bleach.
And a little shot of hot water.
Correct.
We got the batteries. When do we check our batteries?
At least once a year.
Yep.
Oh, but you guys are smart.
We've
Same
been
time
paying
you
attention.
do your carbon monoxide and your
Right?
fire alarm or whatever.
No, we didn't touch upon, though, maintenance as far as having a man come out and actually check everything out.
Yeah. What
How
we
often
do.
should we have it looked at?
At least once a year.
Correct.
Once a year. If you're a big user of the heat, then I would say twice a year.
Okay.
And what do
that's
they
a-
check? What do they check when they come out?
Well,
and do
they
a
ch-
maintenance. What all do they check?
Well, they check your indoor coil. They check your outdoor coil. They check all components that are wearable, your caps, contactors, your float switches. A lot of people don't realize that they can go bad.
And refrigerant?
Oh, definitely. They take the pressures. They take
Now,
the amps.
it shouldn't really be different, should it? If it was filled correctly in the first place and if you're not losing any through a leak, you
It
shouldn't
should
really
be
need any, right?
Right within a certain range, because you got to remember pressure and temperature. So if you get it, if you get it checked on a 95-degree day, the pressure is going to be higher than if you got it checked.
okay.
on
Now,
a-
what if it was installed on a 95-degree day and down the road it's low? Was it low because it wasn't filled?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
That's why the technician opens up the panel and they have what's called subcooling. And I don't want to get too technical, but it gives a pressure-temperature relationship. If it's X amount of degrees outside, your pressure should be within X amount of PSI. So up and down. The ones that I find funny are you're a pound low every time.
Okay.
How can you be a pound low on an enclosed system
Somebody's letting it out.
unless you have a leak or someone's putting their gauges on a lot?
Okay.
So if every year they say you need a pound of refrigerant, maybe you need to
Have a different person come out and do maintenance.
well, not only that, but maybe invest for a leak check.
Okay.
Let's see if there's actually a leak or someone's just saying it's a pound low.
Because it's a bit pricey, refrigerant.
Oh, well, yeah.
Okay.
The old stuff is. The 22 is. 410A, it's still, but why waste your money if it's, not needed?
Because it shouldn't really be gone, correct? It should
That
not
is
really be.
correct.
Okay.
Think
Your
about
unit doesn't use it.
Think about your car. Once again, we can relate this to a car. Everybody knows about cars. How often do you put radiator fluid in your car?
Never.
Why?
Correct.
Why
Because
don't
these
you?
new cars have all that where you don't have to do that stuff.
It's an enclosed system.
Okay.
There's no leaks. It's an enclosed system. If you have to add it, it usually means that there's a...
You're losing it somewhere.
Right. So if you've had 7 maintenances and every year you need a pound of refrigerant,
Okay.
isn't it, do we have a leak? Let's see if we have a leak. It could just a little Schrader valve's loose.
Now, how do we find out if we have a leak?
You get a trusted professional out there and he'll do a leak search for you.
Okay.
And you can reach them at 772-871-1560.
You got a guy who'll come do that.
It's right.
Yeah.
Several.
Several of them. Yes, exactly.
Several.
Couple
So
like
the one thing we haven't really touched upon, emergency service. Can we call you, Saturday at
Sunday.
7 o'clock? My
Yeah.
air's not working. Okay. How does it work?
772-871-1560, and a trained technician will answer your call after hours.
Okay.
If he does not answer, leave a message, and he will contact you within 30 minutes.
Give them a little idea what might be going on.
He might be able to help you over the phone. It
Okay.
might be something that simple.
That's great.
And when it's warming up like it is, we're probably going to get more and more calls.
More and more calls.
calls. So,
Remember, be proactive,
be
not
proactive.
reactive.
We've been
So I
trying
think
to
it
tell
would be
everybody
a
that.
great plan to do your maintenance, schedule your maintenance, your service for maintenance like now, every
January,
year
February, March.
before it gets hot. So you know that going into that hot weather, you're going to be okay.
November, December, January.
Yeah.
Great time.
Yeah.
It's a great time.
I might not even be using my air conditioner then. I'm not thinking AC.
Right.
I know, but you should because you're going to be proactive,
Okay.
not reactive.
Now at my house, we're using AC all the time. I have allergy people in my family, so yeah.
Well, maybe you need
We're-
one of those fresh air
Yeah, I was
UVs.
thinking about that.
Get a new system.
I
You
was
get
thinking
a chance
about
for
that.
the drawing.
My system's not that old, but we're people with tile, no carpet.
Right.
Everything's like hard surfaces, and
It's dust magnets.
we run the air.
There you
But
go.
we could also sell you one,
Yeah.
even though, you don't have to have a new install.
This is
We
true.
can provide that, sell that to you, and install it and help you out with that air quality.
Well, like I said, and be sure to check us out at www.speedyacservice.com.
And our Facebook page.
Yeah, because we have a lot of good deals going on right
We
now.
do. A lot of promotions, a lot of giveaways. That's the best way to learn about us as a company. And we're with the Better Business Bureau.
5-star rated company.
Yep.
And some of your suppliers have rebates going on right now as well.
Correct.
Rude and American Standard both are offering manufacturer rebates, both offering 0% financing.
Plus the FPL rebate.
If every single family home that's not attached.
Right. Unattached.
Unattached.
Unattached
So
homes.
Okay.
Mm,
So not
yeah.
like quadruplex or duplex or places like
Condos,
okay.
trailers, all those.
Do condominiums? Do they? I mean, everyone has their own unit in a condominium. You have
Yes.
okay.
Yeah,
Does it propose a different type of service for a condo versus a house?
No, it'd be exactly the same maintenance schedule and so on and so forth. They have drain lines. They have parts that need to be checked, and even water source units, which are in some of the bigger condos, which runs off a tower. The person has their whole unit, like a window unit, in the condo.
Okay.
So you have the compressor and the evaporator right there in the closet.
Okay.
Same thing. Have it checked.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking where they keep them, where just exactly, because it's a
On
small
the roof,
living
on the
space.
ground,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You'd be amazed where they put these things. You'd be amazed.
I probably would. Yes. Not sure I'd want to know.
Oh, you want to know. Everybody wants to know what's going on.
Well, we've got about a minute left in the show. Any closing ideas so people can keep their air conditioner running smooth?
Change your filter.
Check
Get
that
your-
drain line.
Check that
Get your
drain
maintenance.
line. get
And
the
call
maintenance
Speedy if you have a
done.
problem.
Call Speedy AC at 772-871-1560.
All right.
And we'll be back next week, another edition of Speedy on Call here on WPSL. We've got just a few more minutes. If anyone does have a question, you can still give us a call at 340-1590. If we take your call after the show, that would be fine too. So give us a call here. Back next
Thursday,
Thursday.
10 o'clock. Mr. Dave will be back then. So he'll be sitting in.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, Will.
Yep. And I'm sure he'll be ready to get back.
I'm sure he's going to bring back some fascinating tidbits from the Great White North.
That's right.
Where they're still probably running heat.
Possibly,
He
yeah.
he was the other day.
I'm still running heat up in Colorado. So, yeah, we had an inch of snow.
Wow.
So, yeah.
What snow?
What is
Yeah.
snow? It's beautiful.
We don't think
white
snow
stuff.
here in Florida. No, snow. What do you do with that?
It's awesome.
Was your refrigerator,
sauce.
refrigerator not working properly?
No, it's
It's the only
working
snow I've
Well,
ever
you can
seen.
always put things out in the snow to keep them cold.
That's true. I've
Oh.
done that.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I might like snow then.
You might.
Thanks for tuning in to Speedy on Call here on WPSL.